All right, welcome back to the IMNerd podcast, guys. I'm your host, Freyway, and I'm here with my co-host, Kenny. And today we have a special guest with us. We have one of my personal senseis, somebody who has invaded the Philadelphia Yu-Gi-Oh scene in the last couple of years. He has topped with a lot of different decks. He's a Dragon Link god. He has won a UDS and a YCS, and I feel like both of those things happened in like a year's time. It's kind of crazy. We have Shuping with us, and he also you go to school here, right? Shu, in Philadelphia, in Drexel.
Well, I graduated.
You graduated? Okay. All right. So are you back in Jersey or?
No. I live in Center City, Philly now.
Damn, you done moved on up. You live in Center City, so you're actually kind of close to me. Wow.
Yeah.
So how are things? How's life, man?
I mean, it just well, standard COVID thing. We just can't really go out.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I haven't seen you at the locals in a while. I've been going to AU on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I just don't feel like going to locals.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
He went undefeated 15-0. He ain't got time for locals.
Yeah, he don't. Shu don't even got time for YCSs. Shu is the famous. Shu wrote a famous quote a couple of weeks ago that said people put too much emphasis on YCS.
Oh yeah.
Tell us why you said that, Shu. Why do you feel like people put too much emphasis on YCS?
It's just like for me personally, I still don't feel safe to go to the YCS at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, the format isn't really that good. That fun to play.
Yeah, like the Sword Soul, and I think Invoke just won the YCS today.
Yeah, I think Sword Soul won Euro.
It did, yeah. I think Simon he won, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so Sword Soul won one event and then Invoked. How do you feel about the Invoke deck? It's been around forever.
I mean, it's always getting new things because it's the deck is just kind of a couple engines together and it can include a different thing. So it's always getting new cards to support. That's why it's always there. And then the strongest card still hasn't got touched, being like Alistairs and the Deers, or even Fusion Destiny.
Yeah, Fusion Destiny in that deck is actually just not okay.
Fusion Destiny is just not okay anytime.
Yeah, it's so not like. So here's what I didn't know until the final. I was watching the finals. I only watched top 4 and I watched the finals, and I forgot how broken Alistair was, and that he can give 1,000 to any fusion monster, not just an invoked fusion monster. So when the guy beat over a monster, I was like, wow, that actually is just so broken. That DPE already lowers attack and defense by just being himself, and then to do that too on top of it is just crazy. But yeah, congrats to Joe Dietrich on winning the YCS and everything. That was pretty cool. I mean, I know a lot of people want Alistair to be touched. Maybe this will be the catalyst for him finally getting affected by the ban list. Yeah, we'll see. But what have you been playing as far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes? Have you been playing OCG or TCG at all? Like this
one?
Mainly TCG, because usually I go back to China every year, but due to COVID, I'm just staying here. So I've been in America since late 19. That's been 2.5 years
without going back to China at all. Yeah, that's crazy. I know that you do take that annual pilgrimage back to China, and then you play OCG and you tell us how they're doing over there. Different world. I know that they have 3 Max C, and I see that a lot of people on Facebook are complaining about Max C because they finally got to see how it is on Master Duel, where it's unlimited. What are your thoughts on Max C, Shu?
It's just a lot of people not used to it. For me, it's something I kind of already know how to deal with it.
Yeah, you're so used to playing with it.
That's why I made a post the other day saying like there's a lot of people just showing their list for whatever they got to Plat 1. But I look at the list and realize there's just not really answers to Maxi at all. So they kind of just fall against Maxi every time it resolves.
Yep. So the way Master Duel works, when people get the Plat 1 or whatever, but they don't take away points when you lose duels, right? Like
you can still D-rank, I think.
Oh, you can
D-rank. Yeah, you can. But it's like once people get to Plat 1, they probably just don't even play anymore.
Yeah. Because I noticed that everyone's posting that they're at the highest rank, basically. And I was like, that can't be. Yeah, I was like, that can't be right.
What they're going to do, what I assume they'll do, this is what a lot of systems end up doing, is over time, they're going to add more ranks.
There are 3 more ranks already in the game. It's just not released yet.
Okay, yeah. So, that'll happen. But then also, they'll probably start adding decay, where if you don't touch your account for a while, you'll automatically start to move down in points.
Oh, wow. So that's a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of, like, for example, Overwatch. If you don't play Overwatch to, like, keep your account up, it'll decay your points because you're not playing, so you're not up to date with whatever the meta is, what people are doing, and so you start going down in rank.
Okay, so Shu, are you streaming on your channel Are you streaming Master Duel? Was that what you've been doing?
I stream on the day of release, then I just don't do it because there's everyone streaming.
Yeah, literally, yeah. My whole timeline is everyone who wasn't streaming before, they're now a streamer.
Yeah, like the Yu-Gi-Oh category, like the old Yu-Gi-Oh category is kind of dead at the moment. Everyone's doing that.
Yeah,
that's the new hotness. A friend of mine hit me up. I don't know what this deck is. Maybe you guys will be able to figure it out. But he hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a while. He goes on, he plays against some deck, and from what he understands, it's not a really good deck, but if you don't know how to deal with it, you get effed. And it like sets up, and then its big boss monster can skip your turn. It does something, and it legit, like, I don't know, the boss monster does something that makes you skip your turn.
It sounds like one of the gimmicky variant of Drytron.
Okay, because I do know Satellar Knight, don't they have a card that lets you take another turn, a Link Monster, if he has, like, all these materials?
Well, that's Ptolemy's, right? That's banned.
Yeah. Oh, well, shit is banned. Well, there you go.
The one, let me see, Frederick, you should be playing during the time when that card was released. Do you remember there's, like, the Rachel Draco Master or whatever? No. Draco... What's the counterpart of Luster?
Luster Pendulum? I forget.
The Vector guy, right?
Okay,
remember he has a ritual form?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Whenever that monster summon, your opponent skip main phase 1 next turn.
Okay, so they just have
because it's a ritual, Drytron can use it.
Okay, so it's like a little gimmick. Yeah, I was at local the other day and somebody literally FTK'd someone with a ghost trick. Like
that's impossible. Just stack material for it. Right?
Yeah, he did some Lyrilisk nonsense and he just was like, I win. And I was like, oh god, there's FTK in this format. And it's like, yeah, there's an FTK in this format. There's actually a couple.
Yeah.
So that caught me off guard. But what do you prefer right now as far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes? Do you prefer Master Duel or do you prefer? I know this format is kind of over. Like the TCG format, it's not even like really a thing. And Master Duel, is it actually the OCG format or is it its own thing?
Similar enough to say it's an OCG format.
Okay,
it was an OCG.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they don't have. It's not current either. Like it's kind of behind.
It's more like OCG's April last year. April to July that time.
Okay, so it's like
half year behind.
What's your?
For me, I usually just like to discover new things of a format, and the reason I don't like the current is like it's so solved already.
Yeah, everyone's playing Tri-Brigade, I feel like, right?
No, everyone's playing Sorcerer.
Oh, wait.
Sorcerer build the same way.
Wait, which one?
I'm talking about real life.
Okay, yeah, real life. Yes, in the TCG right now, Sorcerer is the most played deck. Everyone says it's the most consistent deck, and like you said, it's pretty solved. I don't know if there's anything else to do with this format.
There really isn't. I've been doing the meta report, right?
Yes.
There's like from almost a month and a half till now, all the sorcerer lists are almost the same from what I collected.
Yeah.
There's like less than 5 cards from main difference, and the 1 or 2 card difference is extra deck, and the side deck is mainly just whatever you like in like a big card pool, the possible side cards.
Yes. Now I remember when the format first started, I was following your meta reports. I actually really like that you do that series. So for people who don't know, Shuping does a series that he releases on a weekly basis, usually, just kind of giving you what the meta is every week. So like any tournaments that happen, he collects the data from different locals and stuff. And like if there's case tournaments,
regionals.
Oh, regionals.
I don't do locals.
All right. Well, I saw some like tournaments that are, like a lot of them are like 100 people, 200 people, which is pretty good actually, considering that we're in a pandemic right now. But he collects the data from like these bigger tournaments. Like I know Rocky Mountain Collectibles, they have their case tournaments every month, and he compiles it and shows what the representation of all the decks are, what's winning, what's topping, what's getting to the finals, and all that. So it's really useful information for people who are competitive. We didn't have something like that really when I was playing, something as detailed. So I do appreciate that you do that for the community. But you're basically saying that in the last month and a half, there really hasn't been much of a change as far as the decks go. It's just kind of like Sword Soul.
Yeah.
I do wonder though, because at the beginning of the format, there were a lot of different Sword Soul variants. Is everyone just playing the Tengi build at this point? Is that the best one?
So the format started as like pure was what I like. It was similar to like how traditional beatdown deck are, but then the pure has like really like Sorcerer as an engine just has large follow-up issue where Tengi solved that, so people really went to Tengi, and also Sorcerer is like, it's how do I say it? It's really similar to like Evil from back day. It's just a fair deck if you really don't build it fair. So it has issue follow up. It has issue to make a super explosive board. It even has a consistency issue if you go with pure. So desire is like a must. Yeah. And then the issue for pure is like it doesn't do enough. The issue, and also it doesn't do enough going second, especially. The issue for DPE Sorcerer is that it cannot run desires. So you don't have enough card to even play half of the time. You just have to rely on your DP resolving, or you draw Fusion Destiny first of all. Yeah. And then that's why at the end, just the only Sorcerer variant left, which can do things going second and also can run desires of Tenyi Sorcerer.
And so that's where we're at. So everyone just agrees Tenyi Sorcerer is the best.
Yeah, Tenyi Sorcerer is the best out of the older Sorcerer variants.
Okay. It just seems so weird to me that there are 2 decks in the format that don't play DPE. The Lyraless Tri-Brigade deck doesn't play it, and also the Sorcerer deck doesn't play it.
Which are the first and second.
Yes. Yeah. How do you feel about the Lyraless Tri-Brigade deck, though? Like, do you think that deck is better than Sorcerer at all?
In my opinion, just within all the combo deck, I still think Drytron is like stronger than Lyraless Sorcerer, mainly because of Orange Light existing. So there you can combo with protection. However, the issue is Drytron just isn't the format to play because both Chalfon and then Archnemesis Protoss run Sorcerer. Yes. So you just can't play half of the time, which make Drytron like it's by itself it's better as a combo deck, but within the whole meta, it's not.
Yeah, I actually really like Drytron because when I first started getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, that was the deck that I saw mainly, and now it's kind of fading into obscurity. Lyraless Tri-Brigade, I know Kamal won last week with that deck, and it's interesting because he topped this remote duel that just finaled today, and he got knocked out after going undefeated, and then he ended up redeeming himself and winning the very next remote YCS. That deck, from what I understand, the power in the Lyraless Tri-Brigade deck is that it can play through anything. Like it can kind of play through hand traps and stuff, they said. But I assume that it must be either harder to play or less consistent because most people don't play it. They kind of go towards the Source Soul deck.
Which seems Source Soul is definitely just the easier one to play.
It's just easier. Like I could pick up Source Soul right now probably and play, right? Like if I had to play a YCS this week. And I
mean, for the decks like you, more familiar, like how hard compared to picking up Mermail and picking Evil Swarm to play, right?
Right. Yeah, Evil Swarm literally summon, make Ophion, search, set, go. Like,
that's how Source Soul, you mainly just normal summoning Synchro Summon monster.
Yeah. It's so broken too. It's just crazy the power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Moye is Engage. Like Moye has the same exact effect as Engage. If you resolve Moye and you go into the Synchro, you draw and then you search. It's literally Engage. Off of one summon. It's just crazy. When you put that into perspective, it's like, holy shit. I guess I'll ask you about the future though, because I'm interested in what's coming with this whole Brave token thing that was supposed to be out already, but it got pushed back and everyone's talking about it because of the OCG. So how does that work and what do you think that's going to do?
I think that's still releasing like the following week, right? So it's here almost. Yeah. But I think the ban is going to matter most
because the ban list is more impactful.
The No Sooner Day was last Monday, so we should, or ideally, we should getting one soon.
Yeah.
And I think that ban list is going to change a lot. Like that ban list, if it's like, for example, it can kill Anaconda, which very likely can happen. It can kill Size, which can kind of nerf like how Brave Token going to be. Because Brave Token, it's like the engine is either used as the linking materials or you use it to just put out negates, then you use your other engine to do things. And the best thing to end it on with that is Anaconda into DPE and combo with Size from Dagda.
So once that's gone, that'll nerf that a bit too. Yeah.
So if those cards are gone, then the Brave engine not gonna be not as effective as it can be. But on the other hand, who knows what's gonna be on the ban list? So the ban list is gonna matter more than the Brave token itself.
So what do you want banned? Like what cards are you looking for?
Let me see. I want Protoss get banned, the Size get banned, and Anaconda get banned.
Those are your 3. Okay. Everyone says Protoss. People fucking hate that card apparently.
Oh yeah, it's like in making Sorcerer like supposed to be a fair deck, no longer fair.
Yes, that does make sense because you can't play.
It's like VFD, but you can't even like VFD at least has answers like Droplet. Protoss, the monster resolve just have nothing to do after.
Yeah. Actually, I saw Tommy Rowe. He used Protoss in the finals, but I don't know if he called the right attribute. I'm not. So I'll say this: I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh currently. I know a little bit about the way the game is played, but I don't know all the intricate game decisions that people make. But basically, I saw his opponent had all the Dogmaticas up and like Macabre and shit, or like he was about to summon Macabre or something, and he called. I know he ended up calling Dark, and on the following turn, Joe summoned Alistair, made Macabre, attacked over the Synchro, the level 8 Synchro, and then Tommy drew for turn and switched Protos to defense mode, and then Joe drew and then played Droplet on Protos to cut its stats down and then like attack over it. And then he just kind of lost from there because he got overwhelmed. But Billy Brake, who was commentating the match, was saying, oh, he summoned Protos, he's going to call Light. And he ended up calling Dark.
It depends, because like when Invoke deck has already passed turn 1, you really summoning let's say the only threat for the invokes I can summon is DPE at that point.
Yes,
like,
so he was trying to stop DPE.
Yeah. And also light monster are usually just like Macabre is already on the field, so you can probably deal with it, or you can just deal with the Alistair the next turn to prevent the Macabre.
Yeah.
Then the Dogmatica cards are like become less and less useful by the turns going. And that, based on what you described, I didn't watch it. So, but based on what you described, it looks like a mid game already. So
it was definitely mid game.
The Dogmaticas are not really doing anything, so prevent those being summoned isn't going to change too much.
Right, so he was more so concerned about stopping DPE from coming out, yeah.
Also, in order for Protos to lock, you have to like call the attribute that's on the field and destroy it, which Dark is a free because Proto itself cannot be destroyed by card effects.
Yeah.
But calling Light could just pretend. What's the other synchro monster next to Proto? Chi-Chao?
Exactly. The level 8.
And if you call Light, it'll destroy the Chi-Chao.
Yep.
So you will lose to a top deck DPU because it has nothing but just Protos.
Yeah, I guess that would suck. The thing is, I don't know Tommy's hand at the time either, so that's probably important as well. Like, if he feels like, oh, my hand can deal with this, but it can't deal with DPE, like, you call it Dark in that case. So it is interesting. A lot of people had a lot to say about that match, but I'll let the experts. They're on my Facebook right now talking about like who misplayed. They said they both misplayed and all that stuff. I don't really know. I don't really care either. Yeah, I mean everyone plays. Especially when you get to the finals, sometimes your nerves gets the best of you. I was gonna say we've all been there, right? Like
my YCS wins were like that. Those my opponent top 4 and final misplay game 1.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you the guy that went against somebody who went Link Karibo Pass?
Yeah, Link Pass was top 4.
Yeah, and he had full combo, right?
Yeah, he was. He did like 2 special summon into Isolde, summon 1. Didn't realize he did normal summon made Link Karibo Pass.
Oh wow! And then you proceed to just like win the whole tournament.
I got it. It was supposed to be game 3, so no one knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Real quick, if we can walk back for 1 second from my smooth brain, what is Brave Token?
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys mentioned it, but I don't know. For all the smooth brains out there like me.
Yep.
So it's a small engine coming in like a week 4 TCG. Essentially, it's a spell card that can generate a token. The token's called Brave Token, or the TCG name is like Adventure Token.
God, that sounds awful.
And then it's like essentially it's a 1-card engine that can give you a negate on the board.
So 1 card sets up a negate, and then you can play the rest of your hand out and do your combos and stuff.
Yeah. The side effect is you cannot use normal summon the monsters effect.
Okay. So that affects like Moye.
Moye cannot be used, like Torga cannot be used, normal summon your Tribegate cannot be used. But if you just special summon it through like a different way and play, it works perfectly fine.
Right. So PK, the Brave Token PK deck was really powerful in Japan, right? Mm-hmm. Do we have all the cards for that once we get the...
Yeah, we have all the cards.
Okay. Is that still their meta, or did their meta change?
They just got a ban list for January a couple of weeks ago, so the meta is changing right now. Okay. They also have the new cards, like the branded, the Despia branded from the what's it called, the branded fusion.
Yeah.
The Elbas fusion structure deck. That's actually also impacting meta, which we're getting March, I think.
Okay, so not too long from now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, do you think that Konami's going to do anything about trying to merge Master Duel with the TCG, or you think they're going to be like a completely separate thing?
I think they're just going to eventually implement like different ban lists into the game and just be like, here is the rank for each balance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because like the bullet and merge the whole format. Just give us all the cards that OCG has, and just make it all one format.
Yeah, because I didn't make a video last week about Master Duel, just providing some background info. The game is capable of implementing new cards because there are placeholders in the game for blank cards. And then whenever you go to the banlist section, there's actually whenever you click into it, it'll tell you which banlist you want to choose. It will select the modification you have, whatever the word is. But there's only one option at the moment, which is called standard, which is the one I have. So it's very possible, very likely, we're gonna have like multiple options to choose with the banlist, which is just gonna be the update OCG and then update the TCG.
That's pretty cool. I mean, they've already started to get the ball rolling on having locals do different formats and stuff. So I guess it only makes sense that Master Duel would be able to play other formats. Is there a way on Master Duel? Let's say I wanted to play like 2011 Plants or something. Can I do that, or is that not a thing?
I think you can hold a free room, and I think you can adjust the list you're using, or you can just set it to unlimited. I haven't tried that feature yet, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that because I know, like, we've been using Dueling Book and stuff like that for the last couple of years to test play online and all that stuff. But if Master Duel has the capability to just make your deck anyway, like you want it to be, that would be pretty cool. Because then I like the fact that it's automated. Like it's kind of nice for somebody like me who doesn't know all of the rulings right now and all of the intricacies. So the game will just tell me like, hey, this effect can be activated here, or like do this here, and that'll be,
Which essentially you're just playing an official Yu-Gi-Oh Pro that requires you to pay.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Have you dropped any money on Master Duel yet? Be honest. Okay.
I did right away.
Yeah. Look, there's no reason to lie about it. Okay, don't be ashamed of me. I spent money on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's normal.
So do you I haven't booted yet. I have it downloaded on Steam, but I haven't booted it yet. So do you just like buy packs? How does spending money in Master Duel work?
You buying gems, and gems are used to buy packs, pretty much.
Okay. And then there's a system for you to go free to play and like get packs for free?
So it's not required to pay at all. You can 100% go free to play. So essentially, you can break down every single card you get from the packs, just not the cards you get from like for like rewards from like solo play or other thing. Then once you break those cards, you can craft cards. For like a low rarity, it's like a 1-to-3 ratio. So for every 3 ultra you break down, you can craft a new ultra.
So you give 3 ultra rares and you get 1 ultra rare back.
I think it's similar. It's similar to Hearthstone, right?
Yeah, I heard you could dust cards in Hearthstone and do the same type of thing. So you give up 3 shitty ultra rares and you're like, I need an Ash Blossom or I need a Maxi.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just for us who spend, it's easier and faster for us to generate a lot of the crafting material. So we have a tons of big time to craft whatever we want.
Yeah.
But if you feel like grinding both rank and solo mode, you will have a good amount of gems at the end after you finish the free to play.
Trust me, there will be people who are going to bust down that check to get all the cards, especially. So right now, everyone's having fun and everyone's getting all these gems and they're using it and everyone has their deck, right? But obviously, this is a business. They're going to need to make money and they're going to start to do things that make it where you kind of have to spend a little bit of money to remain competitive, I think. And people are going to have to.
I mean, they're just going to keep updating the balance, so you have to like either craft new cards or whatever. I mean, the beginning phase is like the one that required to spend a lot because you need to craft every single staple so you don't have.
Yeah, so you need Ash, you need Maxi, you need Droplet, you need all of those cards, all your side deck cards. Yeah, you need everything. But then after you have them, you can put them in every deck. Yeah, that's cool.
Which those staples together is like already more than half of like a deck in a format.
Yeah.
And all you need is craft or just open the specific archetype pack and get whatever archetype you're missing that you want to play, then you pretty much finish the deck.
So what deck did you make in Master Duel? What was like your main?
Drytron and Dragonlink.
Okay, you really love this Drytron deck.
I mean, yeah, Drytron is the best deck in the current format. Like, I knew it the second I saw the balance.
So wait, you think Drytron is the best deck in Master Duel?
Yeah.
Holy shit, everyone's talking about Tri-Brigade and what's that?
No, it's definitely not Tri-Brigade.
Okay.
Why is it definitely not Tri-Brigade?
Yeah, he's definitely
not. Tri-Brigade still has Dryden, but it doesn't have it doesn't have Ratpier. Ratpier got banned.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
So like your dual engine still functions, but it just doesn't connect to the Tri-Brigade engine as much as if you have Rat.
Yeah.
And at the same time, for a BO1 format, like if Tri-Brigade wins Dice Roll, they still have to play. If Drytron wins Dice Roll, half of the time I just win. Like I played rank half of the time not even knowing what my opponent were playing, and they just scooped.
Yeah, Alpha Zeta, and it's just that's just
it's like we like for me and other Chinese friends, we found a trend. It's like if you play against some Japanese name, you Alpha Zeta, they'll watch you finish everything. If you Alpha Zeta against like an English name, they usually just scoop.
What do you think that is? Because you actually know the OCG. You actually visit the OCG, and you know how the players are. Why do you think that the players in the OCG do not scoop when you combo?
Well, I have no idea about that.
Because you scoop when you're losing, right? Like you'll just be like, "Fuck it."
Well, it's funny. Like there's also at this point, it's probably a known meme. It's like the Japanese players majority of the Japanese players are not knowing how to play Drytron.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that's being a thing because I saw posts on the Chinese websites being like the Japanese are so shocked how broken Drytrons are on the first day of rank, just destroying everyone.
That's interesting. So
yeah, I saw screenshots on Twitter.
I wonder about that, like because the OCG often dictates a lot of stuff in TCG. Back in the day, like they usually were the ones who were ahead. Like I think about Pepe, Bosch, format, and like a lot of throughout the last like 20 years, I feel like I've seen a lot of OCG influence impact the TCG. But basically, you're saying that the TCG has impacted the way they feel about cards like Drytron. They didn't realize that it was that broken.
I'll say it's from the example I said earlier about Drytron, it's more the OCG China is impacting OCG Japan.
Oh, so it's not even right. So it's not even necessarily TCG.
Yeah, but for whatever you're saying, it's actually funny because I think TCG recent years are occasionally ahead of OCG because of the balance. Because TCG like to hit things fast and actually accurate. The past OCG battles are just they were horrible. So they were like stuck in the same format for more than half year, where TCG still have like limitation every couple of months.
Yeah.
And whenever OCG is ahead, it's only because there's like new cards are actually impacting meta. But when the pack actually give you terrible cards, then the format maintain the same, then the balance doesn't do anything. And at that point, TCG gonna actually go move ahead because we got things hit first. That OCG hasn't done yet.
I think my guess the reason for that is just American. We're more quick to complain about shit, and we'll complain a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think that TCG over the years they've gotten used to banning things quicker because Americans are like, "What the? I'm not buying. Stop! What are you doing?"
Oh, I think it's more because of COVID. COVID was really bad last year in Japan. That's they kind of has some impact to even the ban lists at some point, I think.
Yeah, because some of those ban lists were not real during the pandemic. Like there were a couple that just didn't do anything.
I heard a kind of conspiracy theory, which is the list we having currently in Master Duel looks like supposed to be the list from supposed to be the real list from last year OCG April. The reason being, the current list in Master Duel has like changes from 3 different ban lists from OCG last year, from April, July, and October.
Wow!
But not exactly fitting any of them.
Yeah.
So there's really also people were just complaining so much in OCG last year because they just so delayed on hitting everything for the meta. Like VFD survived an extra 3 months, then it looked like it should be.
Yeah.
Mr. Mind was alive until October, when it's a problem since January.
Damn, 10 months of Mystic Mind. That sucks.
Yeah,
I think that card has to go.
At that point, Mr. Mind was already at 1. It still seems like a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you only need 1 to win.
Pretty much. But I mean, we still have 3. That's a different topic.
That card is crazy. So when I go to AU, which is just a local, a lot of people at the local, they either main it or they sided.
Oh yeah. And
a lot of the games are decided by Mystic Mind because people don't main deck anything to out it, like nothing.
You're kind of not able to as the current format.
So it's awkward to play something like Duster or Galaxy Cyclone in the main deck because of how bad.
They're absolutely useless against like the actual engine.
Yeah, that sucks. It's like a bad. Yeah, that's just whenever you can't really solve a format because no matter what you do, you make your deck worse for one deck. And then you make it better for another deck. I guess people just say, fuck it, I won't play against Mystic Mind, which is what you have to do, right? You just have to be like, I'm not going to play against that. And if you play against the game 1, you just lose, and you say, okay, game 2 and 3. Yeah. That's always
also
been.
back to the balance topic. The conclusion for that one was like people really speculate Konami like break down this current Master Duel list that was supposed to schedule for April into 3 different lists because they were doing COVID. They couldn't really test everything.
Wow.
They just give out changes through like from one list into 3 different lists for last year.
Huh. So as far as Master Duel goes, what do you think is the biggest change that needs to happen? Like, I know I see a lot of complaining from the TCG about Maxi. I see people complaining about VFD is legal, right?
Yeah.
And Emptiness is legal?
Well, because those are legal in OCG.
I cannot understand that. The Emptiness is so that card's been around since the last 12 years. That card's insane.
It's been limited since being played and just being limited the entire time.
It's just weird to me because okay, so Imperial Order is limited here, but like pretty much everyone fucking plays Imperial Order here, and like because it's the auto win sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, oh, he has order, it's just game. Like there's nothing I can do. He droplets, I chain order game. Like you can't play.
I mean, those cards, especially the trapped cards you said, are actually just like we'll say they only work 50% of the time, right? So it works against Wayne going first.
Yeah.
Because of traps. So because of that, in like the super hyper combo that, for example, Drytron, it's actually bad to have them even in the main. You rather have them in the side for whenever you're only going first.
True.
Which at that point you're only being played like 33% of the time.
Yes, you're supposed to, unless you're getting too old all day. But yes, yeah.
You also don't. In some point, you maybe don't even need it because if you full combo is your combo that you should win naturally. So the priority should make sure your combo is going instead of actually have like non-engine card that doing the same thing.
I understand that completely, and for that reason, I want to ask you, how do you feel about Crossout Designator then?
For what now?
For Master Duel, I feel like it's a staple. Am I wrong in saying that? Because like if Maxi's played in 3, and then I'm assuming people play like,
but for majority of deck, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like because I know people say skill drain's legal in Master Duel, and that's like a thing that. But what deck is good with skill drain right now? Like what is the Master Duel? Okay. Yeah. I don't really care for trap decks anymore. Like the current, it just seems like because the reason why I don't care about trap decks right now in any format, Master Duel or TCG, is because of cards like Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, Harpy Self-Duster's legal, and those cards are basically auto wins against those decks unless they have, I guess, Solemn.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't like staking my entire tournament on, oh god, he has Lightning Storm. Like I'd lose. It just doesn't feel good.
I mean, Master Duel at the moment is a best of 1 format. So those are usually like Lightning Storm Evenly. Those are cards you're naturally good inside or not possible to be played.
Yeah, that
Japan loves best of 1. Why do they love best of 1 so much?
They got to change that.
Japan loves best of 1.
I mean, the game, you can just think the game isn't really that finished, but it's finished enough to really post it. That's how the majority of the game nowadays are.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 back in the day when that came out, that game was not finished at all. Final Fantasy
Pokemon Sword and Shield are not finished at all. They gave us 2 DLC
after.
So wait, Kenny, what DLC happened for that after Pokemon came out?
Sword and Shield? Well, Sword and Shield, that game's bad as a side note. But the DLC, they added Isle of Armor, and then they added the Crown Tundra. And the DLC fixed a lot of the problems with the base game. Yep. If you go in the DLC, like a lot of the open world stuff, and the game as a whole, there's too much to get into right now, but the game as a whole for just the DLC is so much better. But the DLC is like $30. So it's like I already spent $60 on the game.
$30 each, by the way.
$30 each. So I already spent $60 on the game. I don't want to spend another $60 to play the good part of the game. It's like I'm just done. I'm just done with the game.
Yeah.
It's like you bought the main part, the $60 part, as like a demo at the moment.
Yeah.
How you looking back to it?
Yeah, I feel like
the new game that's coming out, Pokemon Legends of Arceus. Surprisingly, the more I see of it, it actually looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Some people are comparing it to Monster Hunter, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, that game looks interesting.
So you play Pokemon Shoot? That's like a thing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you're going to play this new one that comes out.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just not a fan of any of the new monsters. Any of the history variants, I'm just not like any of them.
Some of them look weird. I like some of them.
Very few of them, but majority of it looks just awkward.
Yeah, I think that Typhlosion looks funny. Typhlosion looks like he's strung out.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, but you can't be saying like there's only one good one out of the 20, right? That just
yeah. But the game looks interesting. I have it on good authority that someone may or may, because I said that I'm not buying any more Pokemon games day one until they fix their trend. So I wasn't buying this game day one, and I'm still not. But I have it on good authority that somebody is going to buy it for me so that I can stream it. So
there you go.
Because it comes out the day after my birthday. So
yeah. When is your birthday?
The 27th of this month.
Okay.
January 27th.
What were you saying, Shu?
No, I'm just saying the game is also coming in the next week.
Yeah. So it's a lot coming. The ban list might come out. The Pokemon game might come out.
The ban list might come out tomorrow.
I think so too. I actually think the ban list is coming out tomorrow. I'm a firm believer that by 12 p.m. Eastern, we will have a ban list. I just feel like that's going to be a thing. So I do want to get some backstory on you, Shu. What is that noise? Do you guys hear that?
It sounds like something's echoing.
I didn't hear anything. From me.
It's like when I talk.
Yeah, I think our voices are being picked up by Shu's mic.
Oh.
Maybe? Check.
Yeah, I think that is what it was. So it's like Shu's hearing us, but then it's coming through at the same time.
Is it still like that, or?
Do you have headphones?
Wasn't working since last week.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, we should be fine. Let me back up from my thing a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I want to get some backstory on you though, Shu. Like, how did you even start playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, where did you start playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, that was so long ago.
Yes.
Even though you're pretty young. In general, or you talking about Yu-Gi-Oh competitively?
So I actually want to know like Yu-Gi-Oh in general, because for most people it's like, oh, I watched the anime and then.
For me, it was just like when I was lower school. One day, the boys in the class just brought some cards, and then it just started in the whole class, and I just got into it.
And never stopped.
Just be like a fan, be like a casual player.
Yeah. And then how old were you around that time?
Oh god, that was like what? What was that? Second or third grade?
Oh
so,
damn! You were a kid.
I mean, back then we just only like cards doing MST can negate that kind of thing. So we're not really playing. We're just having cards.
Listen,
dude, cards are not even real cards.
Explaining to it always feels so bad after you learn that MST doesn't negate. And when you play somebody and they try to MST you and you go, well, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But you play pot of greed and they'll go MST and you're like, well, it's not how that works.
Yeah, why do we need solemn judgment when MST can just negate, right?
I just hate that MST does actually negate. Like certain cards, it really just does negate the card. You're like Tenki, MST. It's like, well, fuck, and negate it right there. And they're like, well, you just told me it doesn't negate. Like, yeah, but no. So
well, you see, when did you got to talk about rulings?
Yeah, that's a whole rant in itself. And Shu and I are both judges. We both judge Philly regionals all the time. And
we're actually having one coming in May, I think.
I saw that. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, right now
it's gonna happen though.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's still pretty early, so maybe it will happen 5 months from now.
I wish it happened. Me
too. I actually really, really want a Philly regional again. Like I think that would be awesome. Just to have an in-person big event like we used to. I miss seeing everybody, even though there's this whole virus going around. It would just still be really cool.
I finally get to yell at people reading their cards again.
Yes. Well, people have really not been reading their cards that they've been home for 2 years. There's going to be a lot of bad questions. And in fact, every time I go to locals, even though I have not played so long, people still ask me, they're like, hey, Frazier, can you come over here and help me? And I'm like, guys, seriously, like, come on. I don't even know what you're doing. They're like, oh, this is chain link 1, this is chain link 2. Then I have to read all the cards and try to make a decision on the spot. And that just never works out right. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to even judge the next Philly regional when they do have it. I might just be a spectator completely now. Yeah, it's just gotten away from me. But when did you become competitive, Shu?
That was like, let me see. I mean, I came to this country around like late 11 for high school, and then that's about when I started going to locals. Because like my mom asked me what's my plan for the weekend after school. I was like, well, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh local, might as well take a look, right? I just started going every week. That's when I started local. When I actually started, let me see, competitively, I was like probably early 15, I think. It's like my mom asked me, do I want to go college visit? I was like, maybe. And I saw there's a YCS happening at the same city I want to go visit. So I was like, you know what? I can go college visit, but at the same time, I'm going to the YCS.
See, you already figuring out little crafty ways to get to the YCS.
Yep. So I got to like that was my first YCS. It was like Chicago early 15, I think. It was like it was like Gear? No, it was before Gear. It was like Fire Water after Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
20 because 2014 was
wasn't that one the one Tom won? I think that was the one actually, right?
Who won? Tom Mack won with what was that called? Bujin?
Possible. No, that was probably.
Well, I think you're right. I think Tom won the YCS. I think he won with Bujin, but I think that there was draft maybe. So like technically not Bujin. Like
wait, but Bujin wasn't. Wait, was Bujin released? Bujin was released, yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I feel like that's what he won with. I feel like he won with Bujin.
Think so. Yeah, but then that was my first YCS. The second YCS was Philly YCS, like 2 months after.
Okay.
So I just walked to the convention center.
Yes, must be nice.
Yeah. And I got my giant hand from side event. That's what started.
Oh, yeah.
The journey. Yeah.
Yeah, once you get a taste of it, because you're really young. I keep forgetting that. Well, probably not now, but back then especially. Like, how old are you now?
25.
Okay, so yeah, that's still pretty young. Yeah, because you won in 2019. That was the Sky Striker, right?
Late 18.
Oh shit! So it's been almost 4 years.
I was like 21 only.
Okay,
like a few months away from 22.
Yeah, I believe I won when I was 20. So around the same. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it feels good. You don't top for a while, and then when you top, you just you get a W, and then it's nice. But then that you didn't stop there. You went on and won a UDS too. And what deck did you win with UDS? Is it this Dragon Link deck?
Yeah, Dragon.
So, did you innovate the Dragon Link deck? Like, are you one of the people that kind of?
I wasn't the one innovated. I was being like a part of a Chinese friends group, and the majority of them are in Europe. So I think at the same time was like I had a UDS and 3v3 YCS in America. They have I think YCS Uche or YCS Dusseldorf, either of those coming. So they were also figuring out the deck. I joined the group and they sent me the the skeleton.
Yes.
And I kind of modified it with like more TCG things into it. So I kind of adjusted the list to fit the TCG format, and that's the result how I won the UDS.
Yeah, because I feel like your deck was really good for that event, and you went undefeated.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of you probably have an advantage over the field.
Yeah, I won. So I went to the regional the week before the UDS. It was like the Connecticut one, and I got X1-1, I think, and there was 10s, 11s. But my loss was because one of them was early because I didn't respect Lightning Storm. It's a regional. I was like, not many people can have Lightning Storm. For everything attack a double Lightning Storm per game.
Holy shit.
And then the other one was like, because I didn't have plans for time, I was thinking, I'm playing a combo that I should end it fast, right? Turns out I was grinding against another combo that surprisingly. And I was just took a draw for time because I didn't have plan for it.
Yeah. So then you fixed those issues.
Yeah, I fixed those issues, and then at the UDS, I put everything defense. I had Scarlight in my side, specifically the time, and it won me, or I just won the tournament. We know how that ended.
Yeah. Damn. So that regional was like really important for you to figure out how to win. Yeah, that's nice when it works out like that. What's your favorite format that you've played in?
Favorite format? I mean, whenever I did well, it was always
my man.
So you like
my man.
So you definitely like the Sky Striker at full power formats then.
I would prefer the last Drytron format and also the Dragon format I played.
Yeah. What do you think about Dragon Link right now in the current TCG?
They just hit too many things at this point. The deck now, like the deck used to be explosive. Now it play like Salamangreat. It's two different decks.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
You could tell it has been nerfed. I hate that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the good decks right now, I noticed this about the Invoke deck and the Sword Soul deck and the like they have 3 of everything.
Yeah.
No matter what card you want to run, and either Source Soul or Shaddoll Invoked, Dogmatica Invoked, you can literally run 3 of every single card. None of your cards are limited, not a single card. So like that by itself is just consistency. Whereas when you start playing stuff like Dragon Link, you have this card's limited to 1, this card's limited to 1.
Dragon is still like good because there are still a lot of good cards at 3. Like Safer's at 3, Chaos is at 3, Quick Launch is at 3. That's why the Dragon is still playable. But on the other hand, like especially current format, your opponent Proto is called Dark, you just can't play it.
Yeah. What about Nibiru? Because doesn't that card hurt that deck a lot? Or
no, it's only hitting bad players. It never hurting the deck.
Okay, so I must be seeing a lot of bad players at my local dude. Yeah, I see Nibiru come down and they're just like, well, I'm fucked. Yeah, it's funny. I was watching Hani play top 4 today at a room at YCS, and he got nibbed by the guy who ended up winning the whole thing. He got Nibiru, and then he still won that game. Like he got nibbed. He did some Tenyi stuff. He ended up making I think a Baron, and then he did some shit where he shuffled. He made Boxia, I think, too. It was turn 1, so he was able to Boxia turn 1, and Billy was like, "Oh shit, I forgot," because he controls a card. He could Boxia turn 1 and all this other stuff. But yeah, he ended up playing through nib, which was impressive because a lot of times, like the bad players, when they combo and they get nib, they just end on an aqua board.
Yeah, like Nibiru is really a card that only hitting bad plays and bad players, not really hitting decks. Because in order for the deck that do well in the format, it kind of naturally has to have an answer to it.
Yeah.
But if the player isn't really capable of utilizing it, then it can get punished by nib.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot of sense because so in order to Nibiru somebody, they have to summon 5 times. Yeah, and a lot of people's 4th or 5th summon is going to be something that negates Nibiru.
Yeah, I've used Nibiru and actually killed a Sky Striker before, so it's really not depends on the deck anymore.
Oh no.
I just kept my nibs. I kept my nibs in, and then whenever Striker trying to kill me was like the Axis play, I just nib. Well, now you don't have a way to kill me.
Yeah, no, that probably sucks really bad for that deck.
Yeah, really.
How do you feel about Striker right now with Fusion Destiny being legal?
I'm more anticipating the new Sky Striker card that was just out in OCG last month.
The one the quick play spell card?
Yeah, that one.
That card is crazy. What does it say? Like, discard a card from your hand?
No, it says send another card from your field to graveyard to special summon a Striker linked to the extra dead zone.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That makes, and I know that there's an OTK with it already.
Yeah, well, the OTK barely happens because it will never get to a point. But just having that card available in the deck, you can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, and you can also dodge because you can like use it to dodge stuff too, I guess.
Essentially, just 3 more monsters, like solving the Striker's issue of bricking.
Yep, that was always how the deck lost.
Yeah, but it doesn't overlap with all the monsters you have already.
Yeah, in a weird way.
Yeah,
like you're not actually adding to your monster count; you're actually adding to your spell count, which is better.
Yeah, like even before, like having 3 Ray, 3 Hornet Drone is a little bit excessive at some point. But having 3 of this new spell plus whatever, like 3 Ray, 1 or 2 Rose, and then 1 Hornet Drone isn't too much.
Yeah. I think Fusion Destiny made Sky Striker like actually legit. I talk a lot of shit about Sky Striker on Facebook because one, when the format started, like before DPE came out, it was just a really bad go second deck. Like that was what the deck. It was just didn't do enough, and everybody was still playing it for some reason, which I thought was weird. Like a lot of people I saw playing it, and I was like, why are you guys playing this when you could just be playing Drytron? Or I think Tri Brigade was at full power, and those decks had 3 of. They have 3 of all their cards. I was like, there's no reason to play Sky Striker with 1 engage. Like 1 engage did not make Sky Striker that good. But then DPE came out, and now with DPE and also TCBO, like there can be only 1. Those cards make it a bit more ridiculous because
I think DPE not necessarily do too much because Sky Striker can use it, so as other decks can use it.
Well, so it's funny you say that.
It kind of balances out. Like within all the DPE decks, in my opinion, Striker is definitely nowhere near the best.
So here's what I think. Because I have an interesting thought about why Sky Striker has actually been able to like win stuff lately. and like do well is only because of with DPE is not being used in Sorcerer. We agreed on that earlier. It's actually not being used in all the decks, period. Like, it's kind of weird that like the Lyraless deck, which is popular, doesn't really play it either. And then Drytron's not in the format at all because of Protoss, so it's awkward for that deck. So when I think about DPE decks at this point, it's kind of just like Striker and the Shaddoll Invoke deck. And
there's a little bit more, but majority of them, yes.
Yeah, because like I know that this format technically has like 10 different decks in it, but they're not.
Well, yes and no. It's like, yes, there are kind of 10 different decks. No, it's because the format is really 30% Source Soul, 30% Lyraless Try, and then 30% of DPE.
Yes. 10%. Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But then
that's
in tournament,
exactly it is.
Yes, but then in tournaments you can end up playing against the most random, like people still play prank kits for some reason. It's like, okay, like what's going on?
I see prank kits is like part of the DPE decks now, honestly.
Yeah. But Sky Striker is like the best of all of them. Like that deck is actually because
out of all the DPE decks?
Like all of the DPE decks that basically aim to simplify the game state. Because that's what Striker is good at. Like when your opponent
let me see. I would prefer probably Invoke DPE first, then try Brigade DPE after that, out of all the DPE decks.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, the Invoke deck is definitely the best out of all. I mean, it literally just won, but not even being a results oriented. That deck actually has synergy with the fusion idea, and you know what I mean? Like, it actually does something more with it. What I like about Sky Striker with Fusion Destiny, and the reason why I think it became competitive is because the trap card, the Floodgate, we're in a unique position that we both agreed on where people can't main deck back row. So a lot of times what happens is somebody goes TC Bow, and then you lose because they have like DPE, TC Bow, or they go right, or they just go DPE with a Widow Anchor and like the card advantage of Sky Striker, where if you don't do if you don't answer this, it becomes a point where you won't ever be able to answer what I have. Like it spirals out of control. It becomes like too much to handle. It's like, oh, you pass, now it's Kagari, get back thing, and then it just spirals. It keeps the game really simplified for Sky Striker to benefit from. Like, oh, now you have 2 cards to my like 5, and I just go Widow Anchor and your turn's over, or I go DPE, your turn's over. It's like just more interaction. Whereas before they would just end with like a Shizuku and like a Widow, and I'm like, that's not enough.
Well, what you're saying is like only super effective in game 1. Once game 2 and 3 kick in with like Lightning Storm, Twin Twister evenly involved, not effective as they need to be.
And that's how it should be. Because I'm not saying that Sky Striker is the best deck by any means, and I do think that like obviously Sword Soul, Invoked, Shaddoll, whatever the 4 deck, whatever that deck is, and then the Lyraless deck, they're definitely the best decks because they don't have any of their cards limited. And I'm a firm believer that just having all of your cards at 3, like I'm done with the days where I try to keep playing the deck because I like it. even though it got like limited, this card's limited, this card's limited, this card's limited. Like I'm done with that. Like I'm not doing that to myself ever. Like if I ever play Yu-Gi-Oh again, I'm playing whatever deck I can use, 3 of all my cards, and just does well against most of the format. Even if it doesn't do well against everything, it's like Sword Soul technically has a built-in out with the trap card. Like technically, you know what I mean? Like they can out Mystic Bind, they can out TC Bow and stuff like that. It's
There's even more outs to Mystic Bind the Sword Soul deck. With the Dragon Circle, you can just tribute only monster.
What is it again? Say that again.
It's the Heavenly Dragon Circle. It's a quick play spell that you tribute Warm to search. You can just like get you get rid of all your monster and then leave with only 1 warm tribute a search at the end phase of your opponent's turn. Blow up mine and next turn.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
That card, like the discovery of that card was what made Tenyi Sorcerer like the best deck, because now hand traps are not even effective. Because of that card getting popular, Valor has like a significantly decreasing the format.
Yeah.
And so is Imperm.
So basically you go like Moye F, they try to do something and you go chain that card.
Yeah. Then you tribute Moye, you steal some of the token because that resolve, then you search the Water Tenyi that's level 4. That's a non-tuner. So just summon that, synchro summon that, do the regular thing.
Wow. Yeah, that is broken. I mean, that's what it's all about. But that's why you think the format's solved, because now we know that. It's like, okay, here's
there's like nothing. Like the only thing happened was because of that card, hand trap turned like from Valor into Gamma.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So now you have to play people playing Gamma, but also playing Celestial and Dasher in their deck.
Yep.
That I can't do that. I can't.
Okay.
That's too much. Too many bricks.
Yep.
Too many bricks. Yeah, so okay. So you were like an expert Sky Striker player from the olden days where that deck was really, really powerful back in like the Goki times. Or I guess that was that after Goki or before Goki?
That was kind of during Goki. It started about the same time with Goki and then lasted longer than Goki.
Why did you play Sky Striker instead of playing Goki?
I played Goki until Nightmare Goblin was limited. Because Goblin prevent target, which can shut down all the striker cards. But after the Goblin is gone, like the full-ended Goki board can be cracked by striker cards.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah.
So I was like, also Engage is just like a broken card. I want to play Engaging every single deck when it was at 3, obviously.
Yeah.
Which,
people were doing that.
Yeah, which it turns out Goki just wasn't a fan of for me after Goblin's gone. So I went with Striker. And
it was a good choice.
Yeah.
It was a good choice. Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. And then Dragon Link, you pretty much feel like it's dead. Now you're on this just like this format solved, but then Master Duel.
Yeah, it's like whenever there's a format, I kind of really think what's really the best card in the format. During the Goki time was probably Nightmare Goblin. After Goblin is gone was probably Engage, so I played Sky Striker. And then after Engage is gone, what was the best card left? LP, so I played Dragon Link.
That makes sense. So you build based around the most powerful card.
Well, you kind of just already know what will be the best card, or one of the best cards in the game. Every format.
But you never be a person that would build around Mystic Mine, right?
I tried it a little bit at one of the format. Just got Imperial Ordered, but that's nothing I can do. That's the only weakness of the deck.
No, that makes sense. Imperial Order is very, very... I don't know why that's...
I entered a invitational qualifier, knowing myself probably not going to be piloting either Tri-Brigade or Drytron, like guaranteed confidence piloting those. So I was like, let me just build a gimmicky going in second mind deck, because the only thing I can possibly lose to is the Imperial Order. I won the first 2, then lost 3 rounds because my opponent opened Imperial Order first game 1.
Damn. Man. Yeah, and that's not realistic at all. It's not searchable unless you're playing Beatrice with like...
Well, they are not setting up. It's just naturally draw. I was like, well, it's like one. My opponent goes, oh, my hand sucks. Active Desire, Jewel Starter plus Imperial Order. I was like, well, can't do anything about it.
That's all the classics. Those are the classics of card games right there.
Yeah.
So do you plan on playing? Like I know there was a remote duel YCS. Did you even play?
The most recent one, no.
Why not?
I entered for the entry quest. Well,
he said he doesn't care about YCSs.
I know, but I
wasn't going to Pasadena, so all my focus was just already preparing for the incoming form.
Okay, so you are like 100% done with this.
Oh yeah, I mean, also it's weird we ever had 2 YCS in the same region with the exactly same format. That almost never happened for years.
So what do you mean? I'm trying to...
Like, have you ever remembered 2 YCS specifically happen in the same region, like North America or EU, and then they are the exactly same format with the same card pool, same balance?
Yeah, I do remember that every YCS for a long time, at least something would be different. Like, there was a pack or something, a ban list. There was always something, though, that would make the next YCS slightly different. And maybe it wouldn't be completely different, but it would be enough different that, like, it changes it up a little bit. But these last couple have been exactly the same.
These last 2 specifically are exactly the same.
Yes, which is why it's funny. Kamal.
The weirdest part is the Pasadena one. Like when the Pasadena one happened, the previous one hasn't even ended yet because we just had the top 16 this weekend.
Yes. Yeah, and it was weird. It was supposed to have been in person.
Yeah,
and then it would have ended, and then we would have had the finale today of this YCS from almost a month ago now. But it happened where everything is remote, and so like I said, Kamal went undefeated in the the before one and the December one. Yeah. And then he ended up winning the remote duel one with the same deck because it didn't change. It's like, why do I have to change? I already went undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, I got knocked out. He probably got unlucky, and I'm assuming he got unlucky in top 32 or something.
Possibly. I mean, this is how the format goes right now. It just a lot of times not controlled, not able to.
Yeah. It looked like when I was watching the finals, and even top 4, when I saw the invoke, like Joe, when I saw him win, he would just overpower them with broken cards. It'd be like, here's fusion.
Yeah, I heard Tommy's Hender just really horrible game too, right?
I think so. I know game 1, Tommy had that was the awkward game.
Yeah.
But game 2, it didn't look like he had the juice. Like it didn't look like he had a really strong. But Joe's hand was just.
I mean, that's what a book deck is. You can draw the best part of the deck and just destroy your opponent. You can draw the worst part of your deck being like all the Garnets.
Yes, because there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had like Alistair, Fusion Destiny.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Give us 2 trap.
Yeah, and it's just like, god damn. I actually said, I was like, if he has TC Bow too, this is way too much.
I mean, he's probably going second, but
yeah.
It makes sense he does, but.
Is that card, is TC Bow is one of those cards that's bad going second? Against Sorcerer?
I mean, it's a floodgate trap, right? So you might get to a point where you won't even have the chance to flip it, no matter how effective it will be after resolve.
Yeah, because some of the floodgates are weird, like the old ones where like Rivalry and goes in, you can flip them on a field and it will wipe out the field. And it's like, holy shit.
The game has to be involved to a point where that still works, but that's no longer
not always. Yeah. Yeah, when you're going second, you just got to be like, I got to stop you from doing what you're going to do, or I'm going to break your board. And that's how they play. It's like, oh, droplets or dark. I don't really see Dark Ruler no more now. I'm noticing that.
Because it doesn't do anything to Protoss.
So that's the whole thing. Yeah. Protoss has warped the format.
Did you guys see because we're talking about all these different formats and everything. Did you see, I think somebody posted it in the IMNerd Discord, the meme where it's like a bunch of all these new fucking Yu-Gi-Oh mechanics, and then like the guy's just laying on the ground with his fucking baby dragon and shit, like getting into Master Duel, like all the old school Yu-Gi-Oh people coming back in and all these goddamn mechanics looming over them.
Yeah, there's people in our IMNerd Discord server, and they were talking about how, like, getting back into it, there's obviously most people know about synchros and exceeds, but then you get like pendulum, which people might not know about, especially the way they changed it, because pendulum started off as one thing, but then it became neutered. And then you also got links, and there's just a lot.
The worst part is there's actually a good amount of Duel Links players joining Master Duel, and they have to see all the new pendulum cards.
Yes, because that's not
each of them are like each new pendulum cards are like a new fucking small essay.
Yeah, because Duel Links is speed duels, right? It's like 20 card decks or something.
Duel Links also do have pendulum cards already. It has evolved to Arc 5. So it's quite modern than you think if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah. I wonder if Master Duel is going to do like Hearthstone and make cards that don't exist in real life.
No, who knows? Because Duel Links does.
It has cards that do not exist at all.
Yep.
Okay, so it probably will happen now. Because I know in Hearthstone they have cards that like get a random card, like generate a random card outside the game. That's just like, it's not in your deck. It's not even in your deck.
I think that that could be cool, but that would really just obviously make it its own thing. I personally hope what they try to do, they could have side formats, but I hope they try to make it so that it's like it is whatever the current format is. You know what I mean? That way people can use it as a substitute to Dueling Book or whatever. And maybe they can use it officially instead of remote duels.
Yeah. I don't know, because I do want to see, like, when I heard that Master Duel will have tournaments and stuff. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, probably will.
You know what's going to suck though? Here's what's going to suck. So Master Duel is automated, and I know from personal experience, I used to play a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh games. Misclicking is a bitch.
Hey, man.
It applies to every single online game. Right?
Yo, misclicking is going to be imagine being nervous in the finals of a YCS or whatever the Master Duel equivalent will be, and you fucking misclick the wrong prompt, and it's just like, my. Or the even worse than that is if you know how sometimes you want to chain or you want to like react to certain things, but I know you in Master Duel you have to like hold right click and stuff like that, and sometimes those windows don't really respond. Somebody said that, I think Carter Wicks, he wrote something about multi-role doesn't work with Shizuku right now.
I still haven't confirmed that, because I've also heard people saying it works once you change your settings to a specific point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just going to be, I just know somebody's going to have a heartbreak story where they're like, I lost in top 4 because I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. And it's
I mean, there are people playing Pokemon VGC misclicking in World Finals.
Hey, that's true.
Oh, that happened?
That's true.
Yeah, that happened.
Damn. World's Finals, too.
If you think about it, that's not much different than like the guy that flipped forbidden, what was it, Chalice on you, Frazier, and then tried to take it back.
Yeah. No, he did misclick because he in real life. He thought I was dead, and he's like Chalice, and I was like, okay, I'm at 75, and he's like, oh, it should be game, and me and the judge were like, I don't know about that.
And he was like, oh, I misclicked.
he tried to reset it too, and I just was like, nah, you played it, you definitely played it. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to think. So like, are you? Because you seem to be not too interested in the whole in-person thing because of like the pandemic and the COVID and all that and traveling and everything, which makes sense, right? But then, are you going to be more of a Master Duel player or?
No, really. I'm just waiting for our back. Also, I'm more a fan of discovering new formats, new things. It just I haven't had one for a while.
Yeah. So if we talk to you, for example, you guys think the new format might start tomorrow,
right?
Yeah. So. Let's say a ban list comes out tomorrow and it's significantly different. That's going to excite you because you can start looking and digging in the new stuff.
Yeah. Because Master Duel is solved already.
Yeah, Master Duel is really solved. It's just the majority of the TCG players don't know it yet. The answer is there. They just don't know it.
And you're like, the answer is Drytron.
Yeah. The answer Drytron was like, the answer Drytron and build as much anti-maxi as possible.
As much anti-maxi, yeah.
Yeah, while still maintaining the core engine function, but that will be it.
And then
there's not even anything about side deck.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Just best of one.
Yeah.
Oh man, best of one. I keep forgetting it's best of one.
Shu, have you played them best of one tournament in the LCG?
No, because those are the YCS Champions that happened since like 2019, something like that.
Okay, so you haven't been. Yeah. What is your favorite deck? Because I know I asked you what's your like favorite format, but like do you like? I guess out of Sky Striker, because you won with Sky Striker and you won with Dragon.
I mean, the answer would just be Dragon, Drytron, and Sky Striker, right? Out of the three, it'll probably Dragons.
You like Dragon? You like the feeling of the Dragon deck more?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also like so many different variants of Dragon because I played it for like a whole year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. I think Dragon will be in because there's just so many ways you can play it, and it's just all good.
Yeah, and it's also a combo deck, whereas Sky Striker is a control deck.
Yeah.
So you prefer combo decks?
Not necessarily. I just prefer the better deck.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I fuck with that heavy. I've played everything, so I know that feeling.
Like, do you really think Sorcerer is a combo deck? Not exactly, right? It combos a lot, but it doesn't really feel like a combo deck.
I don't know what to call it because I refer to it as like a Fire Fist type of deck. Like, it kind of has that feel. Like normal summon goes through, okay, I can do my stuff. If normal summon doesn't go through, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like typically that's how that deck goes.
We know birds. We know Literalist is definitely a combo deck. Well, how you define a Sorcerer, right? It's not really. It can combo. It can beat down. It can control.
Yeah. I mean, all the decks, they just turn one, they set up a fucking board, and then you don't break it, you die.
Yeah.
Even the Invoke deck does this. I'm like, this guy, if he goes Macabre, DPE, set a back row pass, like, you better answer the whole board or you will lose next turn.
I mean, honestly, like, Alistair, Fusion Destiny, Nadir, that's pretty good combo there.
That is. Those are just some of the strongest cards in the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, when I think about the Invoke deck, also, I can just say, the Invoke deck in person is so good looking. At max rarity,
got a lot of like really good rarities.
They have everything can be ulti, and it just looks so fucking good. Like Alistair and Invocation Ultimate Rare, they look amazing.
I don't think there's only Alistair, right?
You said what?
There is an Ultimate Alistair. There's secret ones.
I thought he doesn't come Ultimate?
And Invocation has ulti. I don't think Alistair does.
Oh wait, let me see.
Highest Alistair is a secret.
Okay. I just remember seeing a guy at locals play the deck, and literally he spread his hand, and it just looked amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like it just looked like every card in his hand just was so shiny, and I was like, God damn, that deck looks really good. Also because I guess most of it is spell cards too. So many spells. Like Nadir Servant's Secret.
Secret. Nibiru and Droplet can be OT, so it's imperm.
Yep, and he had those. Those were all ultis.
And then Ecclesia can be Starlight.
I didn't see those. I don't think people play their Starlights. I've never seen someone actually play 3 Starlights of anything.
I played using my extra deck, but not for the deck.
Is it just me, or do the Starlight rares? Remember back in the day, those fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards that were like stickers that you could get?
Yeah.
Starlight rares look like those stickers.
They do look a little fake, like at first.
Like those old, you would get them out of a vending machine, and it'd be like a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and the whole thing would be shiny, and then you could, peel it off.
I love fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
The price tag on the Starlight cards are not fake. That's the thing.
That's why I haven't seen many people play them in their deck, because it's like, fuck that. I'll just put this in my binder and wait 5 years, and it'll be over $1,000 or something.
Yeah, they are already actually.
Yeah, some of them are. Are you a collector of the Starlights and stuff? Like, is that a thing for you?
No, I only collected the ones I like, or the one I pulled. I have, let me see, which one I have? I have IP, Appaloosa, Zeus, and all the Charmers. That's it.
Okay. All the Charmers, you said?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool collection of the Charmers. I like that.
Or maybe it's because they're just all extra deck cards, so I can actually find to use it.
Yeah, because main deck cards getting shuffled is... I just don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to shuffle them. I don't want my opponent shuffling my Starlight rares.
No way. Let me ask real quick. This is off Yu-Gi-Oh for a quick moment.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that you play Pokemon, and then you also mentioned VGC. So I used to play Pokemon competitively. Did you ever play competitively in either Slot or VGC format?
TCG or VGC competitively?
The video game.
Video game? I do occasionally pay attention to it, but I never did it.
Okay.
That's like what about Smash?
Nah, that's just not type of my game.
Yeah.
Can we take turns at least?
Oh shit.
I mean, there's kind of turns in the Smash, but when I hit you, it's my turn. All right. When I hit you, it's my turn, and then you'll get a turn when you hit me if that happens.
I mean, if it's that easy, sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, think of it's just like getting Yada locked, right? Like I might just Yada lock you out of your turn. That's all. But you mentioned the TCG. Did you ever play the Pokemon TCG or not?
Whenever the Yu-Gi-Oh format kind of like make me feel bored, it did happen. I switched to Pokemon TCG for like 1 or 2 months.
I noticed that a lot of times when I played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, I don't play anymore. When I played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, whenever the format would get boring, people would start playing Pokemon or Magic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. The format I picked up was one of the best format, one of the most fun format I played. Pokemon TCG.
What was the boss card?
It was Nine March and then Colorless Mega Ray.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that just the tier 0 formats. I definitely picked up at the right time at the best time.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, I like very consistent. You're like, yeah, fucking the most broken cards with the most broken format. That's my favorite deck.
Oh, yeah.
I want to steamroll.
Do you play anything else, Shu, as far as like just gaming in general, like besides Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh?
Not really. I mean, those are already taking a good amount of time with me.
Yeah, especially now that you do that whole meta report thing. I already thought about how much work has to go into that, and then
it's like 2 to 3 hours a day for like 2-3 days straight. That's it.
How long ago did you start that?
Started beginning of November, so this is about a whole Burst of Destiny format at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually just update it either weekly or bi-weekly. If there's like a week that's completely dead, I just skip it and put it into the next week.
That makes sense. Yeah, because there hasn't been too much. Now there's been all these remote YCSs and stuff, but honestly, like you said, they haven't even brought anything new as far as I know.
Yeah.
Like they've been exactly the same. I'm really hoping tomorrow gives a goddamn ban list because it does feel like I just feel like we've been on this for so long.
Yeah.
And I would like Protos to go. That way Drytron can come back because I really like the Drytron deck. And it's sad that no one is playing it right now. And the people who are getting scraped.
They kind of have to hit Drytron at the same time they touch Protos, but I think Drytron will be fine afterwards. For my hits will be like Alpha and Zeta both tier 1.
Jesus.
But the deck still function the same.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but like Both to 1 is gonna be like, damn, that takes a lot of consistency away.
It's funny, like people don't even max out the most possible amount of alpha and zetas in the decks.
Really?
Yeah, people don't play terraforming, don't max out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't even max out Nova or Emergency, so there's definitely it's possible to deal with it.
What? Okay, so you just brought up something that we talked about. Hoban, when we had our interview with Patrick, he mentioned like cards like that you can only play 1 per turn. Do you feel the same way about those as far as maxing out 3 copies on them? Like it kind of.
It depends. I usually treat cards like the role of the cards. There are hard once per turn cards I still max 3 and guarantee every single time, like being like pre-preparation or Pot of Prosperity. Those are just way too good and cannot be replaced by anything else.
Yeah. So you don't care about the possibility of having 2 of them because it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like having 2 of them means I at least have 1 of them, right?
Yes.
So it's fine. But have cards like other cards like Drytron Nova, Cyber Emergency, those are kind of just like cards replacing each other, doing the same thing, and they are hard ones per turn. At that point, it's just why would you want to play 3 when you can play the replacement?
That makes sense.
Reduce the you're the same copies.
Yeah, because it is literally those cards aren't as powerful as something like Prosperity and that makes sense. Those cards they're different in what they actually do.
Yeah, like half of the time, if you already have Alpha, for example, drawing Nova and drawing another just useless Drytron, it almost doing the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
But when you are deck building, you considering drawing double Nova is 100% dead for 1 of them.
Yeah, and it's not a blowout card or anything.
Yeah.
Whereas Prosperity, I literally seen somebody go Prosperity get Imperial Order, and it's like, oh well, that's not fair. Yeah. And that type of shit happens often. Like I saw, I think it was against Hani in top 4 Joe Prosperity, and one of his choices was TC Bow, I think. It was just like it was just broken. But then he also played Prosperity.
That card just can turn to anything you miss in your hand.
Yes. Yeah, looking at the top 6 cards of your deck is nuts. Yeah. It was funny though. The last time I saw him play Prosperity, he's revealed Imperm, Celestial. And he took the Imperm so fast. You could tell like he didn't even want to linger. Like he immediately grabbed the Imperm, and it was turn 1, so it really sucked because it was like I can't even use this, like it's ass. So I was like, damn, his hand's actually 4 cards. Like, he has a 4-card hand. But because he Pot of Prosperity for 3, I could kind of feel like his hand was good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because when I saw that, I was like, he only
has everything. He doesn't need to dig for anything specific.
Exactly. When he did the 3, I was like, well, you did 3 instead of 6. Clearly, your hand's already nice. And then, of course, his hand was nice. So
yeah. At that point, just a bonus. It's not even something needed.
Yeah, it's like I'll just take the Imperm just cause, but
Pot of Prosperity is essentially a card. Like if the card is worded differently, if the card is worded at the beginning, draw 6, put 5 of them back. Everyone's gonna have a max out of deck.
If it said draw, look at 6 and put.
If the card straight just say draw 6, then put 5 of them back to the bottom. It's doing the same thing as now, but it will make people think it's much better.
You're right. The wording of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that does have a psychological
impact. That's what it does, right? You just draw 6.
You do.
Show it and just put 5 of them back.
Yeah. If it said that though, that shit it would be in everybody's deck times 3.
It's doing the same thing exactly, but just sounds much more broken.
One thing, you made it sound crazy. I actually had to make you repeat what you said because I was scared that you changed it, but you didn't. What's funny is that Yu-Gi-Oh players, I always say this because I play like other card games and stuff, and I always say Yu-Gi-Oh players love drawing cards.
Oh, yeah,
it is the favorite thing of every Yu-Gi-Oh player. It's like, I just want to draw cards. Like, please God, I don't care if I'm losing or not.
That's why whenever I switch to Pokemon, it just feels good.
Yes, because Pokemon's cards like draw 8.
Yeah, like draw 8, draw 6. That's a problem I had whenever you would play, like if you play a deck building game, like DC deck building game or other games, obviously draw cards are still really strong there, but something you'll notice, especially from Yu-Gi-Oh players, is they might overbuy draw cards because drawing is so fun, and we're just like, oh, this is +2, this is pot of greed. But at some point, you gotta buy power cards, and you gotta make the draw card draw something.
You need something to draw into.
Yes. Yeah. When I play Cube with people who are not, they're whatever. I play Cube, and a lot of people will draft all of the draw cards basically, but then their deck is ass.
Yeah.
And it's like, you passed up Rescue Cat for Graceful Charity, like, Like I understand Graceful is like broken as fuck, but do you understand that in draft, when every card is every type, Rescue Cat is a god card. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Or Overraptor is literally a god card. So it's just funny when you see that happen. It's like, oh well, you chose Graceful. I'll just kill you. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, you get all the draw cards, but like if you're not drawing in then like you're just drawing draw cards.
Yeah, like I'll take the Block Dragon. That's fine. It's okay. I'll take the Block Dragon. I actually completely missed that format. I don't know anything about the format where was it Adamantipator?
Yeah.
Was that format toxic?
I'll just say it. I mean, toxic is like has different definition to everyone, right?
So was it tier 0 in that format?
Yes.
It's a tier 0. Okay, so I missed a tier 0 deck then because I was around for like a lot. You know, when 2018 I saw Sky Striker at full power, I saw Goki at full power, I saw Thunder Dragons at full power. What was it after Thunder? I saw that. Remember the FTK deck?
Sky Orcus.
I did see Orcus at full power. I also saw there was in between there was an FTK deck that was Pendulum. Remember the Pendulum, the Storm Venom? That deck was consistent. It was good.
That was before. That was way before, I think.
Yeah, I saw that one, but I completely missed Adamantipator. Did it last long or no?
It was like from April of that year all the way till like what, October?
Okay, so that's a good amount.
There was just no tournaments. There were just no tournaments. That's why.
Oh.
Like all the tournaments happened were the Luxuries Elsia, and then the only Konami event happened was the Invitational where Konami picked people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Was that so? Was that the pandemic? Was 2020?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. All right, well, that's why. Because I was wondering how come I missed this deck. I was playing somebody for fun. I was using Drytron, and he was using Adamantipator, and he started using his card effects, and I got nervous because of how ridiculous they seemed. So, Kenny, the Adamantipator deck, every single fucking card in the deck says, "Look at your top 5 cards, and then pick one of them." Like every single monster he summoned did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he literally would be going through his deck and stacking his deck and stuff. And it started to make me freaked out. I was like, wait, this deck was broken, right? And they were like, no, this deck was crazy. But like no one won or anything with it really because there was no real tournaments, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah, I missed that one. Thank God.
It's weird. It's so interesting. The COVID black hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is. It's been almost 2 years.
Yes. Yep.
Man.
I got sent home from work on March like 11th, I think it was, something like that. It was like a Thursday. It was March something, 2020. And I have not been to work like in the office since March of 2 years ago. And I cannot believe that 2 whole years have passed. Like it's insane. Yeah, it's weird. What
almost 2 years I won the UDS.
They what?
It's been almost 2 years since I won the UDS.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like you've been a champion for years, and it's weird. Silverman also won a YCS, the last in-person YCS, and
I won that.
It's so weird because it's like it's been so long since then.
Yeah,
like I can't believe like literally 2 years have passed.
That reminded me, somebody I wanted to ask earlier. You guys were mentioning you were 20, 22 when you won your first YCS, and I feel like most of the stories I hear, it's usually late teens, early 20s. Do you guys know of any stories of like a old head 50, somebody like 50 years old who wins his first like he becomes a champion for the first time at 50?
I think Simon he became a champion today. I think he's like probably like 35 or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, let's go.
He's old.
I mean, how old is Silverman when he won 2 years ago?
I was about to say that. Silverman when he won 2 years ago was probably like 35.
No, but Silverman won before that, right? Silverman won with White Swords like way back.
I'm assuming they won before.
As far as I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any. I pretty much know everyone who's won YCS in the last couple of years, and I don't think any of them are that old, honestly. Like when I think about it, yeah, pretty much the community's pretty young in general, though. When you think about it, like I think the oldest pro players are in their 30s. There's not really any really good players who are from the old days like that are 40 now. I think that most of the people who are really good from back in the day and have aged now and like 10 years have passed are 30 something.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is there any breakout? Because like typically when you win your YCS, when you become a champion, that's kind of when you break out.
Yeah,
people start recognizing you as a pro. So do you guys know of any people that became a breakout player? But older.
I don't think so. I think that it's weird that you say that because I'm trying to think hard about this, but I really feel like everyone who's been doing well has been young.
Yeah.
Like relatively relatively young. I'm talking about either teenager or like somewhere in the late 20s and that range. You know what I mean?
All right, let's do it. Let's get me in the gym. I'll fucking win a YCS in my 30s for the first time, baby.
Honestly, I feel like if I gave you either Sword Soul or you could probably play Invoke too. I think Invoke is easy, right, Shu?
Invoke is easy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's not too. I feel like I could play Invoke. Fuck it, I'm coming back. I'm playing Invoke.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's get a couple wrinkles on our brain.
Yeah. We could be two old men just play the IMNerd podcast. Our old ass is playing Yu-Gi-Oh again.
We don't gotta go anywhere.
No, we don't.
We can just right from home.
The bedroom. We could literally play from the bedroom. Yeah, let's start testing. I'll pick up Invoked. Shu could be our trainer. He could teach us how to play. Because I don't know.
Before we started, Fraser called you Shu Sensei.
Yeah, he is. I always called him Shu Sensei since back in the day. This is before he won anything too.
Yeah,
he was always Shu Sensei because I was slowly getting out of Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, and so like a lot of the stuff I didn't understand, like Metal Foes. Like I was like, I don't really understand. I made my random ass Metal Foe Magic Spectre deck, and like I was like, I'm just gonna play this, and I topped the YCS with it, and like I lost because I got a game loss. And my I forgot to write Big Eye on my deck list. I hate that. I could have won that YCS with a troll deck. That was a troll deck.
Nice.
I literally almost won with that, but I don't know.
The last time I see you really go super competitive was like what, the Cosmo time?
Yeah, that was 2016.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. I know I was playing competitively 2017 when Rat Pierre was at 3.
Oh, Rat. Cool.
Fusion, was it Fusion Substitute?
Yeah.
That's when I quit. So I played Fusion Substitute, and I went to the UDS in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Maxi was at 2, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, Maxi I think was at 2, and Fusion Substitute was searchable. Mm-hmm. And I remember I had a really bad experience at that UDS. Like it just was not. That tournament felt fucking awful.
Yep.
Like so I remember game 1, I played Fusion Sub on someone, and they literally played
retaliating.
That's exactly what it is. They played. Cool. It was game 1, and I at first I was gonna call a judge, and then I said to myself, he actually mains that. Like I was like, he actually mains that card because that's the format. Like it makes sense. It's not even that crazy. I was gonna raise my hand and say, Judge, I just need to make sure that my opponent plays this card because it's like typically a side deck card, but he has it in his main deck. And then I thought about it, and I didn't even raise my hand. I said, you know what? You got game 1. Like,
dang.
Yeah, I did not like that. And then also I got Maxi'd a lot, and I didn't draw my Maxi's a lot, so that fucking sucked too. And yeah, now we're back to Maxi, where everyone's talking about Maxi. That's literally my whole timeline. And when I scroll, it's just Maxi doesn't do anything because you just summon VFD, or you brave, you lock them with Buster, or you do this or that. And then some people are like, Maxi's so toxic. I can't believe people want this card back. And then it's like the community is like divided. I feel like half of them are trolling though. Like the people who are like,
yeah, really. Half of them, whoever's saying that's probably not even playing.
Yeah, like a lot of it. Well, one of my favorite people on Facebook is actually Ed Exception. He is hilarious because he just trolls posts like 90% of the time. Those posts are just ridiculous. But because he's also a good player, it kind of like is like, okay, is he being serious or is he fucking trolling right now?
I have to make some troll posts now because I'm reaching the cap of how many friends I can have on Facebook.
Yes.
You make some troll posts. Whoever comments things I don't like, well, bye.
Oh shit, you bait. I love bait. I do a lot of bait posts.
Yep.
Yeah, bait posts are so fun. You just say things and then you don't even comment. You just let them say whatever they want. You let them argue. It's so fun. Yeah, you should do it though. Because a lot of people listen to you because you yeah, just be like, Maxi's not even that. I think one of my favorite posts from you is the people put too much emphasis on YCS. And
yeah, it definitely is.
That got a lot of people talking. They were like, maybe we do put too much emphasis on YCSs.
Oh, yeah. Like imagine the YCS pre-reg or out on the first like hour.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this
like, imagine people booking for the YCS before you even know if they can guarantee going or not.
That's literally what just happened. I feel a lot of people probably lost money. I don't know if the airlines returned everybody's money. Yeah, some of them do, but I went to California, but it was a vacation for me. I had a great time. That was so fun.
Nice. Good for you.
He met, I don't know if you guys know this, but Fraser, he met this really cute blonde his first day there.
No. I almost lost my fucking luggage. A girl literally took my luggage.
Damn.
Yep, so scary. She like took my luggage from baggage claim. It was honestly one of the scariest things that ever happened to me. Like imagine seeing your suitcase, but like it doesn't have anything on it, so you can't tell 100% that it's yours. And then somebody else grabs it off the baggage claim thing. It's like, holy shit.
Grabs it with confidence.
She grabbed it with confidence, and she was a girl, so I was like, I don't want to approach her, and then she starts getting scared. Because I'm like, hey, you have my bag. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I didn't like that. But all right, so we're about to wrap this up. I want to give a shout out to our patrons over at Patreon real quick before we go. Let's see.
Yes,
so
that's on my Patreon as well.
Yeah, so so
yeah.
let's go through this first. All right, so we have Connie, Austin, Leon, Quest, Garen, Xavier, Hylian, TCG Automotive, Silver Chronic, Tyree Tinsley, Dimitri Barnes, Alexander Brissett, Vinny Casello, Dominique Roberts, Game Freak Yoshi, Alex Flamer, Michael Askew, Gabe Marini, Ari Reynolds, CJ, Dubk Dad 1, Saul at what was it called? Dabbers Gaming Cafe in Georgia, Mitchell Nels, Dan Variable, and Dennis Milburn. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the IMNerd podcast Patreon. And Shu, you have your own Patreon, which is, how do they find you?
I mean, you can just, so first of all, find me on my YouTube. It's Shuping Yugioh Lab. And then it's the same name on Patreon. And I've been just updating. So the videos will usually include the meta report, but doesn't have the specific like deck list or the Excel spreadsheet. Those will be updated under the Patreon. Nice. I've been doing I've been updated like every week.
Make them niggas pay.
Well, they are paying. It's not expensive. It's like $5 a month for the lowest tier you have access to the betas.
Yeah, I actually went on your Patreon. I saw the tiers. And I was like, oh, she was being very nice, very generous. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Man. Yeah, and then so Shu has his weekly or bi-weekly meta report. You guys will probably get one for these tournaments that happened this weekend, since technically a new deck
working on it.
a new deck did win today. Invoke Dogmatica. That didn't win. I don't think that ever won anything before.
Maybe I forgot.
I remember most of the decks that won recently, and I feel like it's been a lot of
There wasn't even that many tournaments, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen the Invoke deck. That's why a lot of people I talk to are like, that deck's not real. Like I'm like, I don't.
It's pretty real.
I think it's real. I think I've always thought it was. It has three of all of its cards.
That's a problem a lot of people have though. If they don't see a lot of top players doing it, they say, "Oh no, that's not real," and that's how it is in every game. And you're like, "No, this thing is real."
That's how people see my Dragon deck back then when I was the only one in the tournament using it.
Yeah, but really, you just made a really good meta call, or you saw something, or like you said, you were talking to the people in the Chinese OCG, and they figured something out, and you worked with that. But there's a huge. I mean, that's the majority of the players that play competitive. They just see whatever the top guys are doing, and that's the only thing that's real. And they just copy that, and that's why there's a group of players that have trouble breaking into the top echelon because they're just only doing what somebody else already did before them.
I wonder.
There's even people saying my deck wasn't real after I won the tournament.
After it went 15-0. It went 15-0. Like, come on now.
Yeah, it can't get much more real than that.
Yeah,
I think was Dragon Link hard to play though?
It's a little bit hard. It's not as easy as like Invoke, but it's definitely not as hard as like what DDDs or other decks in Super Combo Deck in history.
Okay, because I know the thing about those combo decks that are really good like that is that they can play through hand traps, so you have to know how.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part. It's like whenever just knowing the combo isn't hard, but knowing how to deal with your opponent's interruption while comboing.
Yeah, and some people are like, "Fuck it, I don't even want to deal with that. I'd rather just play the Fire Fist deck."
Yeah,
because Sorcel's so obvious. Like, all right, well, Summon Moye F. If they negate it, do I have a follow up? No, pass. If I have a follow up, do follow up. And the follow up is
also has a couple routes to do things.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more intricate, but I wouldn't say that it's difficult by any means. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Shu. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
This episode will come out on Monday, so people who are hearing this, we always record the day before. So if anyone's been wondering when we record the episodes, so this episode will come out on Monday, and it was recorded on Sunday, January 23rd. And we will be returning on Thursday of this week. Not sure what our topic's going to be yet. Maybe we'll ask the Discord, but Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer were really good today, so maybe we'll do a little quick recap on that and talk about something else. Still want to do Death Note.
We'll have the Banlos come on.
Okay, if that comes out, we'll definitely do that. I'm hoping that comes out. I want to see the community in outrage.
Well, same.
You know what I want? Here's what I want. I want the ban list to come out tomorrow, and I want it to be the fucking Master Duel ban list.
Oh,
Yo.
Do you know what will happen? Ulti Maxi will be like $700.
I think it's how much is it? I thought it's already a couple hundreds, right?
It is. I think it is a couple hundred. It'll be probably $1,000 cart.
Yeah, probably.
Like, if Maxi comes back to 3, which could happen, it could happen.
That'd be so hype.
Yeah,
that'd be so hype if it was the Master Duel. That'd be so hype. I would love to see people rage.
I mean, Master Duel is wild though. Emptiness, VFD, Buster.
How else have you been here? That's how else you has been.
It's just been like this.
I mean, besides the VFD part, but Skildrin, Emptiness, Max, he's usually at that number for like years already.
Yeah. Best of one. All right, Shu. Well, have a good night. Thank you so much again. All right, guys.
All right, peace out.
Peace. As I always say, do the things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm. And I say, do what Fraser said.
All right.